the secrets of Agile transition at scale.
So welcome, first of all, to Maria Hansen. Maria is a change leader at Volvo Cars.
That's our first case, the really fast transition at Volvo with the scaled Agile framework SAFe.
We have had a very intense transformation program between 2017 and 2019. The main challenge, I think, is to create the integration and release machinery for the car company. And to move away from the traditional project organization and project setup to something different. This, together with the portfolio level, I would say is the most challenging.
We'll focus on lean portfolio management to connect strategy with execution.
We have Markus Vogt. Markus is the Director Insight-Driven Agile at Capgemini Invent.
When you move to a more lean budgeting or kind of a lean agile portfolio level. One thing is, of course, you want to move away from this kind of corner office thinking. So you want to get managers at all levels, even CXO level, out of their corner offices and to make them live the go-see approach, right?
How can we even descale problems? How can we help improve the autonomy of teams and make them really explore and expand on agility before we then think about and go about really helping the intersection points and scaling across the organization?
Involve a lot of stakeholders early on, especially people that traditionally would be very skeptical of this. For example, controlling. You have to involve them really early to make sure that their, well, in today's organization, valuable activity can still be done in a lean agile organization.
So we would like now to introduce all our guests. As you can see, today we are a lot.
I also hear all about, so we have to change the organization. And I think the more important thing is that you have this open culture we heard before, that you have this safe spaces, and that you treat each other on eye level. And this is more important than the structure of the organization. And I think
that's true.
The second part is about the flight levels.
Hello everyone, my name is Klaus Leopold and I have the pleasure to tell you a little bit about flight levels. Make strategy happen. Make strategy happen means we need to connect our strategy system to our flight level 2 and flight level 1 systems.
Custom frameworks, picking the best of all.
But I think this notion of the job of a typical traditional line manager that possibly in the past was the one-stop shopping, right? That was the lead on the project, ideally the lead on the scope, possibly even the lead on the architecture. It was all on one desk, right? That is changing. At least it was in my experience, dramatically. And while some of the managers were actually looking forward to the opportunity to essentially delegate a lot of the responsibility and worked very openly with that and saw the at least half glass full. Now I can focus more on establishing my team's capabilities or improving those. Others felt outright threatened by this and were possibly pushing back against it. So that is, I think, a consideration I would take very seriously. And that obviously has to do with org structures, but is possibly even more critical to really manage well.
Yeah, I can add to that we had exactly that experience, that when we wanted to change the line manager role from being this one-stop shop to having a focus on the organizational and the team questions, it was a huge resistance to that.
It's very helpful, let's put it that way. If also the agile coach doesn't take himself or herself too seriously in that sense. So I think laughing helps a ton.
There are some key points and some really revealing perspectives, and let's call them secrets. And here's the list of 4. The first one is that scaling Agile is hard, but descaling is even harder. Descaling legacy is even harder. And then you have to carefully decide for dramatic or incremental change. Number 3 is the major barrier to Agile transition is not intellectual, it's emotional. And number 4 is frameworks and also capability maturity models try to mimic the 4 key capabilities of already innovative companies like Google, Amazon, or Tesla.
If you could give to other change leaders an advice, what would you say? What is the most important secret that you would like to share with them and with the audience, since we are talking about the secrets of agile transition at scale?
I think one of the things that I've learned that I wasn't aware of before when I had been a manager for a long time, and I've been running changes in my own organization. But what was new for me is the idea of not focusing on the people who doesn't want the change, but rather focus on the people who want the change and give them space and give them, possibility to do positive things, and then use their example to get the other persons with you.
Yes, we love to see you again in our next webcast, and goodbye and take care.
Yeah, goodbye and see you the next episode of our show.